Hey everyone, and welcome to another reading vlog. I'm starting the introduction for the second week of GameNightAthon, but actually I still need to round off the vlog for the first night, for the first week, because I'm still gonna continue and finish Parable of the Sower in that vlog. But I thought I'd already start this particular vlog just because I'm about to go to the library to collect a book that I will be reading next. I have so far had pretty, I want to say a slow start to my day, but it's not true because I went running. But so I kind of procrastinated on running for a little bit. You know, it's the second time that I went running in this training block after like taking the break from running for like 5 years. I tried occasionally to start running again, but I always would just do like the one running session, be like, okay, my stamina is completely gone, and then I was just like so demotivated by the fact that I would have to do it all again from the start that I never really did. But so now I have a event planned on the 21st of October, so I need to run 5K by then, so we have the motivation to get going again. But so I do have the motivation in general to do it, but in the moment itself, it's still a struggle to get up because I'm still at that stage where like 2 minutes of running is like hell to me at this point in time. So, like, hopefully in a few weeks' time, we're back to that sort of like part where you can run like, I don't know, 10 minutes and it's chill to do so, but we'll see. But so that being said, I went for my first run, like for my second run this morning. It was hell again, but we did it, so good job on that. But so my plan was kind of to leave the house at 10 to go to the city center in that moment to go and pick up a book that somebody sent me, and then I'm also going to the library to pick up that second read that I have. Alright guys, so I'm back from the city center at the library. As shown in a previous clip, I got The Martian, so this is going to be my choice for the second chance author prompt, which is what you voted on. This one is not orange, but there is an orange cover existing for it. They just didn't have it, they just have that ugly movie version for it. So in case you don't know, The Martian is a sci-fi book in which a guy gets left in space on Mars, basically, because of some malfunction, and the crew has to escape quickly, and then Mark gets left behind in that moment, and they all actually think that he has passed away. However, he has not passed away, so he has to try and find a way to survive on Mars until the point in which another crew can go and collect him when they're arriving on Mars. But so, I have seen a movie for this one, so I know what happens in it. And so this is a second chance author because I did read their newest work, Project Hail Mary, and that was a DNF for me because of partly the humor, but mainly the sort of like memory loss trope, which is not in this one. So I'm gonna hope that that's absence of the memory loss trope is gonna make me suspend my disbelief. Like, it's gonna make it more easily for me to get engaged with it. The memory loss thing just wasn't working for me, and then the entire book just felt like a sort of like excuse to be able to explain science. And I know that there's a lot of science in here as well, but I really enjoyed it in the movie. So I'm hoping I'll enjoy it as well in the book format, or maybe it just works better as a movie for me, my tastes. And I also got some movies, which I'm gonna have to watch some movies because I think I'm only allowed to have these for like 2 weeks. So I got Adrift, Tolkien, and then I also got Emma, because I think it was not on Netflix when I recently checked. So in that case, I still haven't seen it, so I want to see it. So I got the movie. And then I also have a package, which I'm gonna unpack now. I already know who it's from, so thank you, Denise, for sending this to me, because there were some like issues in getting this to me, because I always let the postman deliver to like a locker nearby where they like deliver postal packages, because it's supposed to be better for the environment because that way they can just like deliver a lot of boxes, a lot of packages over there, and then they don't have to come into the city center, for example, to do it. And I live like 100 meters away or so from that packet logger, so I always do it. It's also easier because if I'm not at home, I know that they can at least deliver all the time. However, apparently there was a problem with it, so apparently they weren't able to deliver to it, and so it was delivered to the mail office yesterday. So haven't checked the book yet, but so the message says, so it's in Dutch, so I'll translate for you guys. So very happy birthday, sorry that the gift is late, no worries at all, hopefully you have an extra birthday now. Exactly. Much love from Denise. And very interesting gift because I'm actually just now finishing my first book by this author. So it is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This would have also perfectly worked for the red prompt, but probably not for the red cover, but probably not for the very specific prompt for which I'm reading another work by her. So Octavia E. Butler is a sci-fi author. She has sadly passed away in the meantime, but she is quite well known and she has quite a lot of works. And so Kindred is one that a lot of people recommend starting with, or a lot of people seem to be starting at least with Kindred. I started with Parable of the Sower now because of the prompt that matched that book. But so in this one we have a Black woman who time travels to a time in which slavery was still ongoing. And there she saves the life of a white guy who then kind of struggles with this idea of having been saved by a Black woman. And so she's spending her time in sort of like slavery America. So a very dangerous situation for her. So I'm really enjoying Parable of the Sower so far. And so I'm very interested to see what she will do with this concept. She definitely has very interesting concepts. And I'm liking how she's kind of like exploring what's the impact of these concepts on the people and on their sort of like psyche, or like on how they deal with that. So thank you very much for this gift, and hopefully I'll get around to it sooner rather than later. So it is a few days since I started running. I started running last week, Thursday. It is now Monday. I went for my third run this morning, and I now have hip pain. And it's not like I wasn't warned. Like after my second run, I did feel some discomfort in that hip, so the left hip already. But like I was just like, okay, it's just like normal soreness because, like I haven't run in a very long time, and it's normal for my body to be like reacting to it. I'm not entirely sure anymore whether I should consider this normal soreness or not, because it's really quite painful when I move. Like not while I was running, only afterwards. And like it's not there constantly, it's only there when I'm walking or like when I'm moving. So I luckily on Tuesdays always have physical therapy, so my physical therapist tomorrow will get a chance to look at that rather than my shoulder for once. But here's hoping it's nothing, or like here's hoping that it's just like as I expected, that it's just like my body reacting to having to do exercise after such a long time of not doing anything. And that it's just like something innocent that, as long as I wait for it to like disappear before going for another run again, it'll be fine. But so yeah, I haven't updated you guys, but I also have barely made any progress in the Martians. So I am now like 37 pages into it. It's not moving fast, but also like I've been doing a lot more editing because I'd been procrastinating on that forever, so I definitely needed to do some editing. Then yesterday I went for like dinner with family and extended family, so that took up like more than half of the day almost. And then yeah, that's more or less all the excuses I have for that. But so I have also been watching a lot of like YouTube, of course, and Queer Eye, which, as we know from last week, is my new obsession. But so with The Martian, like for those who don't know it, it's basically this guy who gets stranded on Mars and has to kind of find a way to survive on Mars long enough for him to be able to like meet up with the next mission to Mars, which is gonna be there in like a few years' time. So he's gonna try and figure out a way to survive over there. And as was the case with Project Hail Mary, there's just so much science in there. And I don't mind science. I like a science-based book, but it's just like explained to such excruciating detail because, I saw the movie and compared to the movie, there's so much cut out here when it comes to like this entire segment in which he's trying to create water. And it's like, okay, I'm very happy with the way that they did it in the movie because I definitely wouldn't, like, it wouldn't have been entertaining to go through this entire explanation. And that's what I'm feeling here. It's like, it's too much explanation of that, nobody needs 20 pages of explanations of how to create water. But I mean, it's fascinating in principle, I guess, but it's just not moving much this point in time. I am happy because, as I said, somebody else is also reading this book at this point in time, and I'm happy that I kind of clicked on her spoilers because, in principle, I've seen this movie, so there are no real spoilers for this book. And I'm happy that I clicked on them because that's made me now know that we were also going to look at the other perspectives because the movie shows both Mark, who is stranded on Mars, as like the people who are still on Earth. We also in the movie get the crew. I don't know whether we'll get the crew here. We definitely get people on Earth. And I'm happy for that because that dynamic was like what I find very interesting about the movie and what I'm so far missing in the book. So I'm gonna try and read a little bit further in it tonight to hopefully get to some of those sections maybe. But yeah, or at least to get him to have created water. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. I'm gonna be making a meal now. I'm gonna be making flammekuchen, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I thought I might as well also check in with you guys about The Martian because I haven't talked to you guys about it in a very long time, I feel like. But so I am struggling with it. It is Thursday. I think last time I updated you guys was probably on like Sunday or something like that, which is a day which I did zero reading. And the other days have been better, but not that much better because I'm like 131 pages into The Martian. The only other thing that I had like kind of been reading in until right now was War and Peace, but I also started another book during my commute today. But so most of my reading this week has been The Martian and I'm only 131 pages in. It's not really going well for this being my second chance author pick. Like, it's proving itself that this author for me does not need a second chance because clearly I'm not really all that enjoying of their works. And Fate does not like me standing in the kitchen. She always comes to me out when I'm here for food. Mind you, she has more than enough food, but she just associates the kitchen with better food. But so, yeah, I don't know. I really like the movie, and the book just makes me want to read the movie, watch the movie, but like, it just takes too much time with the sciencey bits, There are quite a few science bits that I kind of remember from the movie, and that just in the book made me go like, please, like I was fine with it being like a 1 minute explanation in the movie. I don't need it to be like a 20-page explanation in the book. I do like the parts that take place on Earth much better because I don't know, it's just something about the dynamic of that section, the pace of that section, the writing style of this section, I guess, that just makes those sections much more interesting to me compared to the other stuff. And of course, it doesn't help that I've already seen the movie in this case, and so any sort of maybe like anticipation I might have about how is he going to solve all these issues, I already know how he's going to solve all these issues. So I'm basically just going through it now because I kind of want to use this book for that cluster, and so I need to fill 5 spaces for it, read 250 pages, but I'm really starting to debate whether I shouldn't just DNF it because it's just not worth it to me. But on the other hand, I also want this cluster filled, but that's a stupid reason to continue reading this book that I'm not really getting anything out of, and that also, as a consequence, is one that I'm reading really slow because I'm not really engaged in it. So we'll see what I end up doing with that. Hey guys, it is Saturday. I am still waking up. I mean, it is also already 10:30, but I got out of bed around 9ish, I want to say. Had breakfast at 9:30, and that means that I'm gonna be running at 11. So I'm still kind of in like the mm, like waking up mode just because of that sort of like thing that I feel like I cannot do anything until I go running because I'm just like waiting for the 90 minutes to pass, but that's just like useless. But I mean, it means that I'm getting a lot of chill YouTube time in now. I've been really sucked into a Belgian not booktuber, a Belgian YouTuber called Average Rob. I knew about their existence. I just had only seen like one video of theirs in the past, which didn't necessarily immediately catch my attention. And maybe because most of his videos are with his brother, and that video was not with his brother, and the dynamics between him and his brother are just so top tier that like without that I just like didn't immediately get sucked in. But I recently got sucked in, and so I've seen a lot of his videos in the meantime, and so that's what I've been doing so far today. But I just realized it's Saturday, so I should actually be rounding off this video, but it seems so un I don't know, it seems wrong to finish this video having finished not a single book and having given you almost no updates throughout this week. So, what did I do yesterday? Yesterday I had my usual work day, but I went by bike to work again. It was the second day in a row that I did it. I've been listening to an audiobook, so that's why I can bike to work. Usually, when I don't have an audiobook going, I kind of keep myself from going by bicycle to work because then I don't really have anything to listen to. In this case, I made myself choose another audiobook. It is a book that I need to be finishing this month. So in that sense, it is like appropriate for me to finally get around to it now. And I've been flying through that one. So that is Fate of the Fallen by Cal Kate, which I'm now like almost 40% into with just like 2 days of biking. And then after work, I took the bicycle to the swimming pool, and then I made myself do 1 kilometer last week. So I've been trying to like gradually build up swimming again because the first time that I went swimming for like 46 minutes, I had issues with my collarbone. So this collarbone, you see, it's a little bit elevated. That one has like a chronic inflammation, and it has like more bones than typically are. Like it has more bone mass than is normal because of a chronic inflammation to it. But I have been on medication for it, and the pain has gone. But when I went swimming back in February, when I started swimming again, one of those times I went for like a 45-minute swim, and it was aggravated from it. So I had to go cut back and slowly build it up again. And so I have been slowly building up, but then last week I was so close to that 1K that I was just like so annoyed at myself for not having gone for the 1K. So yesterday I made my goal to just do the 1K. I ended up doing the 1K in 43 minutes, but I actually also did some extra swimming before that because it's the first time with my new smartwatch. And yeah, I was confused with the measurements, and I also didn't fully follow the instructions for swimming. The instruction was like when you start a new lap, you kind of have to like um, the first stroke you take, you kind of have to extend it a little bit so that the watch like clearly sees that this is like your a new lap. And so in the beginning I wasn't doing it, so it was giving me way more distance than I was actually swimming. So I did actually do more than the 43 minutes that I tracked for that 1K. So, but so far it seems to be fine. Yesterday evening it was aggravating me a little bit, so I was kind of worried that I'd taken it too far, but it seems to have recovered quite well throughout the night. So yay for that. And then I went to some friends, and we had a lovely evening together. Had some pizza, and just chatted with all my friends. It was a lovely time. So I didn't do any reading yesterday except for the one for like the audiobook, and I mean that still got me 64 pages in total yesterday. But so this week, in terms of my reading progress, my readathon progress has not been going great. I don't think I will be finishing The Martian anytime soon. I will not be finishing anything else anytime soon. So I'm not gonna extend this vlog beyond this point because then it will just have to become like a 2-week vlog, I think, for me to get any sort of productivity in it. So Here's just hoping that my next week is gonna be much more productive in terms of reading, or just like in terms of finishing stuff, you know. The yeah, the week has been overall pretty low on reading, I must say, because of the Martians. So I think my new tactic for that needs to be that the Martian is just, it needs to be consumed as a secondary book for me. You know, my primary book will have to be something else, and then I'd slowly chip away at The Martian a little bit further and further. And maybe on Thursdays when I'm sprinting live, that's when I will focus on The Martian, because I did get a decent progress in The Martian on Thursday because I was reading more in it than I typically do. So maybe that needs to be my tactic in order for me to hopefully finish it next week. This week I did get halfway through it more or less, so next week I should be done with it. Because even if I make it my secondary book, it should still be the case. Because now it was just because it was my primary book, I was just not picking up books all that often because I was not excited for it. So I'll just hopefully tell myself like, okay, just read a little bit in it, and then you can go into another book, and that will hopefully like get me a little bit more motivated for it. But I am gonna finish my water now because I need to be hydrated for my run, and it is currently raining, which is not a good sign. Am I gonna go for my first? No, it's really raining right now. I'll have to check the weather app to see when I can run. But so yeah, with that I'm gonna end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys for the next one. Bye!